institutions in our country. Your president is from the UP, Philippine General Hospital. Your vice president is from Manila Doctors Hospital. Your secretary is from UST Hospital. Your assistant secretary is from St. Luke's Medical Center. The treasurer is from Veterans Memorial Medical Center. The treasurer is from Medical City. The auditor from Philippine Orthopedic Center. And the PRO from the Philippine Heart Center. So although I was prepared with my legal lecture, I told my staff to immediately cancel my trip abroad. Starting this invitation, look at the academic institutions and universities presented on the left side column. They are so prestigious that this invitation from the ORNAC is more effective and powerful than any subpoena from the impeachment court. That is the first reason I have come today. The organization of nursing practitioners in the surgical room is one of the most prestigious professional organizations in our country today. That is the first reason. The second reason I will tell you in the form of a little story. Once upon a time, I ran for president of the Philippines in 1992. I topped all the popularity surveys. And one day, pursuant to a commitment, I brought my family, my husband and my 2 children, to Tarlac, my husband's hometown, so that they could wait for me there, and I proceeded to Pangasinan to deliver a speech at a university. On the way, a military vehicle, driven by a military official, purposely slammed into the part of the car where I was seated, and immediately my car was reduced to a total wreck. The roof fell on my head, and immediately a fountain of blood gushed out of my head. The impact of the collision rendered my face unrecognizable. I was covered with blood from head to foot. It was coincidental that I was wearing a white suit, which was now covered totally in red blood. I was rushed to the hospital. President Corazon Aquino very kindly ordered a plane to airlift me from the scene of the accident to the Metropolitan General Hospital so that I could be taken care of by our relative, one of the best physicians in the country, Dr. Pacifico Yap. Since my face had been smashed and my body had suffered almost irretrievable physical injury, I was immediately rushed to the operating room. And during the operating room, I had a near-death experience. For a deathly, I have to tell you that death is one of the most beautiful experiences a human being can undergo. That is why I believe that doctors and nurses are not afraid of death. I think you know almost instinctively the beauty, the elegance, and the symmetry of death after a well-lived life. Anyway, after that, I was taken to my recuperating room, and the nurses continued to take care of me. Thereafter, I was brought home. I was away from the public side for 2 months to allow me to recover. I could not speak, I could not talk, I could not eat, I could not even take a shower by myself. But my nurses put me together again, and after 2 months, I was able to resume my presidential candidacy. As you know, the results of the 1992 election showed that I won the presidential election, but I lost in accounting. That is the reason why I'm here today, on this day of all days, when I'm supposed to address a foreign audience on the question of vote. I am here because, ladies and gentlemen, of the very operating nurses of the Philippines, I am here, I am alive, I owe my life to you. 1 million. 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 1 convention. So I just want to share with you some bits of wisdom from the Filipino mind. Pagtatagalog na ako. Kapag sinabi sa iyo, na naniligaw sa iyo, na ikaw daw ang nag-isang babae sa buhay niya, huwag kang maniwala. Bakit? Wala ba siyang nanay? Ang mga babae parang prutas yan. May iba't ibang flavor, itsura, kulay. Ang problema sa lalaki, mahilig sa fruit salad. Paano mo sasabihin sa kausap mo na may itim ang kilikili niya? Saan niya siya magalit? Ganito. Tanungin mo, ano ba ang ginagamit mong deodorant? Kiwi? Ang love, parang sports yan. Kaya mo bang may panalo ang isang laro kung reserva ka lang? At minsan, mga peri-operating nurses, because the patients are either frightened or anxious or grouchy or irritable or angry, are faced with patients who keep on articulating that they don't want to live anymore, they want to die. Isagutin mo ng ganito. Kung hindi ka masaya sa buhay mo, bakit hindi mo subukan ang kabilang buhay? Sabi ng doktor, meron ka na lang 2 linggo pa para magbuhay. Sabi ng pasyente, naku, konting panahon na lang pala. Pero paano ba yan? Yan, Dok. Kulang ko ang 2 linggo para mabayaran mo tayo. Sabi ni Doktor, kung ganyan, may 6 na linggo ka pa para mabayaran. Remember that I'm in politics, so I try very hard to make sure that the politicians will turn into an oligarchy, an aristocracy dedicated to stealing money from the taxpayers. Sabi ko yung hold up ito, ang pinapera mo. Lalaki, hindi mo ba ako nakikilala? Isa kong congressman. Hold upper, kung ganon, ang pinapera namin. Peri-operative nursing. The term peri-operative pertains to a period extending from the time of hospitalization for surgery to the time of discharge. In other words, the term means the nursing care given before, during, and after surgery. The prefix peri comes from the exactly the same Greek word, peri, which means around, palibot, o may Tagalog is a little faulty today. Maybe there's a chemical imbalance. O nag-aaligid. Nag-ikot-ikot o nag-aaligid. Thus, when we use the prefix peri, we mean near or around surgery. Ngayon pa lang, meron mga tao na gusto na maging senador at papalitan na ako. Kailan sa naalala kong judge sa International Criminal Court. Naliwanag ko, nakikita sa akin kung kailangan ko mag-resign. Kung hindi, kailangan magtuntay ako na tawagin ako ng korte. Pero ang paraan nila dahil hindi naman ulit retirable na ang judge, ay alis na siya. Kinakailangan sa kanilang mga regulasyon na mag-intay mo ng judge na natapos na lahat ng lista niya. Kaya kami naman mga bago, hindi man rin kami patawag-tawag kung hindi mo na mag-retire sa judge na ibig sabihin ay natapos niya lahat ng lista niya. Kaya yung mga hindi makahintay na umalis ako, palagi nag-ikot-ikot o nag-aaligid. Kasi doon, dapat tawagin silang peri senators. Meron naman gusto kong siraan magreklamo daw sila sa ICC. Hindi nila naiintindihan na para maging isang judge, ang isang kandidato ay kailangan umikot sa buong mundo para niya lahat ng mga foreign affairs officials ng bawat bansa, tama ng mga ambassadors sa New York. At magsalita siya doon, tapos may open forum at maski ano pwede kang tanungin. At meron sila mga NGOs na wala na ginawa kung hindi bantayan yung mga speeches ng mga kandidato. At pag hindi sila nakontento sa mga pagsasagot, ay ilalabas nila ang mga publications nila na ayaw nila manalo ang isang kandidato. Kaya hindi ko lang sabihin ay napaka-stricto ng kanilang mga pamamaraan para mapili itong bagong anim na judges. Ngayon, ayaw ng ibang mga nanira sa akin na papuntahin ako sa ICC. Okay lang sa akin yun. Dito na ako sa Pilipinas. Manatili akong senador, meron akong term of office ng 6 na taon, at meron akong parliamentary immunity. Ang senador, basta kung sasabihin niya, hindi mo yan madimanda sa korte dahil sa natawag na parliamentary immunity. Kaya, kung matuloy man itong mga nanira sa akin, maswerte sila. Pero, kung matuloy man, 6 na taon ang abutin ninyo sa akin. Mumurahin kayo, simula sa ulo. Your annual convention, the scientific meeting of which this is number 38, is intended to help achieve the objective to promote the highest professional standards of perioperative nursing practice for the optimal care of patients. The continuous goal of perioperative nursing is to furnish excellence, nothing less than excellence, in taking care of the patients in the preoperative, intraoperative, and post-operative phases. Kung pabayaan lang ako at wala ng batas, suntukin, sobra pa susuntukin ko itong mga kalaban ko ito dahil wala nang ginawa. Kung hindi manila sa kapwa, tapos magnakaw ng imbak-imbak na pera ng ating bayan. Kaya kayo mga perioperative nurses, handa kayo. Dahil ang dami ng mga kalaban ko para dala ko sa ospital. Kumbaga sa pagka-abogado, hindi ka lang abogado, doctorate ka na. Ganon ang katayuan ng perioperative nurse. by 2,000 standards in the United States, you would probably earn over $83,000 annually at that time, and certainly more by this time. Philippines ahead of the United States. Under the Philippine Nursing Act of 2002, only the holder of a bachelor's degree in nursing is allowed to take the nursing licensure examination. Yung mga kalagayo sa politika, ang baba ng IQ. Kaya nakakita sila ngayon, kumuha sila ng nursing licensure examination. Tingnan natin kung makapagsabi sila. Ang daming kababayan natin, kung ano-anong exam, kailangan kukunin nila bago sila makapagtrabaho at makakita ng pera. Eh bakit pa sino na lang bago pwede mag-politiko? Wala sila mga exam. This example is not being followed in the United States under the U.S. RN-USN program. Therefore, we can proudly say that in nursing, Filipino nurses hold a decided educational advantage over American nurses. Filipino nurses serve as role models to your American counterparts. Nasakpagtaka yun. Ang Pilipinong nurse, tuturuan na nila ng Amerika paano mapaganda at mapabuti ang pagiging nurse. But the United States is catching up. We have to be careful also. Today, in the United States, there is a surge in enrollment in nursing courses at four-year colleges. More than 600 schools in the U.S. have opened so-called RN to BSN programs. These are people who are already registered nurses but want to earn bachelor's degrees. According to the American Association of Colleges of Nurses, fueled by the growth in inline courses, enrollment this year, 2012, is almost 90,000. The nurses with bachelor's degrees will become the largest segment of the profession and one of the best paid. Kaya kailangan malaman din natin kung anong ginagawa nila para ma-improve ang kanilang mga nurses as compared to Filipino nurses. In the U.S., an added incentive for hospitals to hire nurses with baccalaureate degrees is a project of the American Nurses Association. The ANA awards the so-called magnet designation to about 400 hospitals. The ANA awards magnet status depending, among others, on the nursing staff's level of education. In 2008, the U.S. federal government survey showed that the U.S. had 3 million registered nurses, but half, or 1.5 million registered nurses, already had a bachelor's or master's degree in nursing. In 2010, the U.S. Institute of Medicine called for raising the proportion to the total number of registered nurses to 80% with a bachelor's or master's degrees for 2020. Kaya, by 2020, dapat handa tayo for stiffer competition from the United States because by that time, all their RNs would have turned into BSNs. Even if a bachelor's program has strict requirements, American nurses consider it a second career. In the U.S., the typical starting age is around 30 years old. American nurses are emulating the Philippine system because of your influence on serious treatment decisions. Let me just talk very briefly about 2 bills that I filed in the Philippine Congress, but which until now have not reacted at time. The intent of these bills is to try to improve the condition of our nurses, particularly the perioperative nurses. In both the previous and present Congress, I have filed at least 2 bills with respect to the nursing profession. The first bill limits the consecutive hours of work by nurses. The second bill is known as the Nurse Faculty Higher Education Act. I filed the first bill because the Philippine Overseas Employment Administration issued reports that in 2001, some 13,500 Filipino nurses went overseas, but only some 4,400 students passed the nursing board examination. The statistics show that the Philippines is steadily losing nurses, and therefore, we have to solve the problem of the flight of nurses to other countries. My bill focuses on the factor of the hours of work. Under my bill, a nurse should not be required to remain on duty for a period longer than 8 consecutive hours or 40 hours on a 7-day work week. Further, a nurse should not be required to work more than a regularly scheduled work hours. Pag sobrang oras ng trabaho, tusupin ng pasyente. The bill allows exceptions in cases of healthcare disasters, a declaration of emergency in the geographical region, or an emergency determined by the hospital. If there is an emergency, the hospital should make a good faith effort to have overtime covered on a voluntary basis, including calling per diems, agency nurses, assigning roles, or requesting an additional day of work from off-duty employees. The bill does not limit a nurse from voluntarily working overtime. Under my second bill, known as the Nurse Faculty Higher Education Act, I took note of the current faculty shortage in nursing. This bill mandates the Department of Health to encourage programs to engage the cooperation of private institutions, not only producing better faculty, but also raising the level of nursing education. The purpose of the bill is to create 5 pilot programs to provide scholarships to qualified nurses in pursuit of an advanced degree with the goal of becoming faculty members. It also seeks to provide grants to partnerships between nursing schools and hospitals to fund release time for qualified nurse employees. Thus, the nurse employee can earn a salary while obtaining an advanced degree in nursing with the goal of becoming nursing faculty. Under my bill, the Health Secretary on a competitive basis may award grants to partnerships composed of a nursing school and a hospital. The grant should be awarded for a period of 3 to 5 years. In awarding grants, the Health Secretary shall consider the following factors: geographical distribution, rural and urban areas, range and type of institution, and prior experience or exceptional programs. My bill includes the proper appropriation from the National Treasury. My 2 bills have not been acted upon. If you think they are worthwhile, you can either pass a resolution, write a letter, or visit the chair of the Senate Health Committee, urging that these bills should be given priority. This means that the bills should be scheduled for a public hearing where all members will be entitled to participate. The committee chair should then issue a committee report recommending that the bill should be passed. This will be followed by a sponsorship speech during the Senate plenary session. If you request it, I will be co-sponsor so that I will help to defend the bill during the floor debate. The bills are identified as follows. Number 1, Senate Bill number 1565, quote, an act limiting the consecutive hours of work by nurses, unquote. And number 2, Senate Bill number 1589, quote, an act to create a pilot program to increase the number of graduate educated nurse faculty to meet the future need for qualified nurse, unquote. The short title of Nurse Faculty Higher Education Act. I have proceed to my conclusion. Florence Nightingale, the English nurse and medical reformer, said that the very first requirement in a hospital is that it should do the sick no harm. She also said that nursing should put the patient in the best condition for nature to act upon him or her. Finally, she said that the nurse deserves a better definition than simply being devoted and obedient. Bakit ganyan lang palagi ang nurse? The nurse must be devoted to the patient, the nurse must be obedient to the doctor. Bakit ganon? Dapat naman, i-consider nila. A nurse should have sex appeal, for example. Should have the power in any event. The term devoted and obedient is, I presume, the reason why the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote of Florence Nightingale and imaginably all of the nurses in our country today. The poet said, "A lady with a lamp shall stand in the great history of the land, a noble type of good, heroic womanhood."